To shift gears real quick, 'cause we often speak about like entitlement and how entitlement is very unattractive, not shit. However, is there the idea like is there ever since that entitlement is actually, okay or like acceptable? For instance, I saw something where people saying like there's certain conditions where kids will even be cut out the will. And then so even the idea of like you're not even entitled to what you supposedly are the heir to in a certain thing. So I know early episode we speak about like what you leaving your kids, this idea of a legacy for a man or anybody creating something, whatever. What are your thoughts about that? Like,
Entitlement itself?
yeah, entitlement of like, do you even to piggyback it further? Let's even imagine like a child thinking their parents about to leave them something. Do you think you even have the right to be entitled to that? As a
Yeah,
child?
I'm not a fan of entitlement at all.
Okay.
I don't think nobody's entitled to nothing.
Mhm.
I think that certain things are due to you by way of what's owed to you, by way of what you contributed.
Mm.
That's the only time you should expect the payout. Like you should expect something. Like there's no such thing as something for nothing.
Mhm.
Literally, like there's no such thing as something for nothing. Like we live in a universe and a world where when you give, you receive. So you don't just receive. Like you don't have to give, and giving don't always be like transactional. It's like you give effort. You receive based on effort you give. You go to the gym, you give effort, you receive results in the body. You go to work, give effort, you receive a paycheck. So we live in a give and receive type thing. So to think that you just entitled something because you live, walk, and breathe and just like exist is like, I don't even understand that way of thinking. Like, I'm not entitled to none of the things my parents have done, none of the things my friends do, none of the things that, like, none of that. If it's not a duty or an obligation or responsibility, then I have no stake in it unless I contribute it. So even if I'm around, you could become a millionaire, I'm not entitled to nothing that you have accomplished. Besides to get compensated for the work I contributed. So I think that people lose sight of, they start to think that proximity means that, okay, I was there with you, so I should get paid too. But it's like, nah, because it's so funny, man. Even when we talk about the concept of a woman holding a man down, right? And they think like, oh yeah, I held you down. I was there for you. And you came up and you left. Did you hold him down or did you hold him up? And I want you to really think when I say that. What I mean by hold him up, like what type of partner was you during that season? Like, were you holding him down or were you holding him up and stopping him from growing? By way of adding more chaos than peace, telling him he couldn't do it, not believing in him, not supporting him, talking down to him, emasculating him, being disrespectful, telling him all the things that you could do or could be doing if he wasn't in your life while he was down. You follow what I'm saying? Or was it a situation where you was invested into this man and then he did some nut shit when the tables finally got to, and that's just him being a nut. But most men by default are loyal. We don't forget how you treated us when we was down. It's a double-edged sword. So if a man get up and shit on you, that's a direct reflection of what you did to him when he was down. No man gets up and shit on a person that showed them love. A man will remember the person that gave him a pack of gum in the 3rd grade if that helped him land the love of his life. Yo, my boy, he stopped my breath from stinging. He gave me a piece of gum and he'll be loyal to the soil behind that shit. So when somebody starts talking about being entitled, it's like just because you was there don't mean you was there for somebody. And I don't want y'all to let that go over your head. Just being right there don't mean that you made that person feel heard, seen, appreciated, supported, loved, valued, or like that they was worthy. Sometimes it just be about making a person feel like they worthy, like you capable, you deserve this, you got this. And y'all will be in the proximity of it, just staying close enough to make sure that y'all around when the fucking shit hit the, start to come around. And then when y'all ain't getting the payout that y'all expect, now I got a lot to say, oh damn, I was with you the whole time. You was with me, but you wasn't contributing. You were just there. You was in a car. You ain't get out and push if we needed. You ain't actually offer no gas money. You didn't offer nothing of no value of no sort. You just was there. And I can't, even my kids not like me and my kids had this conversation. I tell them like, outside of the responsibility aspect of it, down to entitlement of us being friends. No, I gotta earn the right to have a friendship with my kids. I don't just get to be their friend because I'm their dad. Like, I'm your dad. That's my duty. You my kid. There's certain things that come with that, right? But I gotta earn the fact to be able to say, yeah, me and my daughter open up to me. She tell me everything. I don't just get that because I'm her dad. I get that because I create a space for her to feel like I can tell my dad anything and he's going to hear me out and he's going to be on my side before he be against me. And that's how you kind of earn that right. But other than that, that entitlement shit is just some new shit that people want.
So there's something you said. So let's say back to the ladies. I'm a feminist.
Yeah.
But so let's say she did do all her duties and pour them to him, whatever. And then they break up, whatever, they go to separate ways, and is she entitled to anything?
I think
in that sense.
I think that if you work a job and you put all your effort and energy into that job and you get compensated during your time of employment and the company good better when you leave, what would you be entitled to as an employee?
Severance package?
Yeah, maybe that. But I think that that's to the discretion of the man. Like, I feel like if you're a thorough individual, you'll make sure that anybody that showed you love in your time of need is well taken care of. But I don't see a man leaving a chick unless she got afraid of his success. You know, like he got up and she started to think like, oh, because some people get so ingrained into the role of she's so used to taking care of him and holding him down that she don't know how to give the control back to him to be the leader because she got a taste of that power. She got a taste of that you need me. So now to not feel needed, it makes them feel like they're losing a sense of security. Like, damn, the security blanket became he needed me because he needed a place to stay. I provided it for him. He needed me because he needed to flip my taxes. He needed me because he needed to put in my name because I had the credit or I just didn't have a criminal background. And now he done got his life together. He don't need me for none of this. He just trying to provide. But you so accustomed to all of the things he needed you for that you feel like there's no security and stability there. And now you creating chaos in a relationship because of your lack thereof of that sense of control.
You got used to being needy. You're not sure if he even wants you.
Exactly.
You're not ever comfortable in that dynamic at that point. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like that be a thing. And men go through it too. Men do that when they put a woman up. And it's like now get to a point where she get a little bit more self-sufficient. And it's a human, it's not just on women, it's a human response to feeling needed. And then no longer feeling needed and not knowing like, damn, do you even want me? But that's why I say it gotta be that delicate balance of not overdoing it. Like you wanna, cause we all wanna feel needed and want it. Like I want to know that you want me, but at the same time, I want you to know that if you need me, I got you. But I don't want it to be where it's like you need me so much to the point where you can't operate without me. You feel what I'm saying? You can't thrive unless I'm, and that's where you get to a sense of people feel like, oh, you want to be needed. Nah, there's a difference. There's levels to it. I just want you to know that if you need me, I got you. And I want you to feel like you don't got to try as hard to figure it out because I got you. But that don't mean I want you to be unable to without me. All right, y'all ain't see it, but we just had to take a quick commercial break real quick. But we back, so we're about to pivot into and if I was making a point in the middle of it and I pivoted, then charge it to the fact that we needed to take a commercial break. Don't charge it to nothing else. Go ahead, what you
and even further with the idea about the entitlement thing, like,
cause we talking about?
Yeah, cause reading about something where somebody's saying like, yeah, like they believe in, building their children up in a certain way and keeping the legacy strong. So they're saying like, yeah, their kids will be cut out their inheritance if they have a child out of wedlock.
Oh,
and I thought
I think I seen that.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting. Where I'm just like
a mom that said that, right? Yeah.
And I was like, again, I just respect it because I think that's just a dope elevate type of conversation. We talking about inheritance, like that's versus some like $200. Yeah. Let's talk about inheritance, family wealth, and generational wealth. I was like, that's an interesting hill though. Saying, nigga, if you are just fucking bitches and have a kid, this and that,
you damaging what we building. Yeah. I'm not mad at it. I'm not. That's a contingency more than anything. Like. You are in control of being cut out. So like that's the concept of that's not nowhere near close to entitlement because your effort is going to determine your outcome. So you got one job. She ain't say you got to not have sex to get married.
Right.
She said don't come with a kid that if you don't plan on marrying them. That's the least you can do is protect yourself. You are proven to be irresponsible at that point if you can't hold it down in that way. Like, if you can't go buy a fucking pack of condoms to do your thing, then you don't deserve to be a part of this life jacket. Yeah, you can't buy yourself a life jacket. You don't deserve to be a part of this inheritance. I'm sorry.
Is there something you can think of that you feel like, your kids will be just out of the will?
It's a good question. To a certain degree, no, right? Because I got daughters. So I'm never putting my daughters in a predicament to have to survive. Not intentionally, right? Granted, now, it's like if I had sons, I could see how it would be different. Because this is the thing, man. Like, even when we talk about growing and helping men develop, it's like men only respect pressure and consequences. It's not two other things in the world. A man do not respect comfort. Men don't respect shit being done easy. A man don't respect things that don't have consequences. If a man could just walk up and run in somebody's pockets and get away with it, he's gonna do it. Like, he's gonna run rampant. So when there's no consequence to a man's action, this is how you got somebody that's young and turned, old and turned, just irresponsible, just not because there's no. And you got a man that's in a safe space of mom pay all the bills or a girl handle everything. There's no pressure, so he don't have no reason to rise to the occasion. So when you talk about developing manhood, it's like, we gotta put those parameters in place to where though it's pressure and there's consequences behind your actions. So you think before you do. I gotta at least make you think twice before you do some bullshit, especially if you're gonna be the heir to this family. But for the women, it's like I'm more so will put more parameters in place for them to not have to go out and fuck for money. Flat out, I'm gonna just say it. Like, I don't want my kids to ever be in a predicament.
Please let him survive.
Like, have to survive. Because I don't know what plan they're going to come up with, but I know they're often giving advice.
Go to the plan these days. Yeah.
What the go-to is, and I would never. So me having daughters, no, I would probably put more parameters in place to make sure that that never happened. But you know, with sons, I definitely would have some contingencies, 100%. So I could respect as much as I'm like, no, you know what? I like that.
Fair.